Good morning, everybody. Coming up on this hour of San Antonio Living, wedding season is almost here, and it is time to brush up on those etiquette skills. Our friend Diane Gottsman is here to tell us what you should and should not do at weddings. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to San Antonio Living. I'm Shelly Miles. You know, summer is all about weddings, and if you're planning your own wedding, or maybe you're attending a wedding, etiquette expert Diane Gottsman has some tips on how to be the perfect bride, the perfect groom, and the perfect wedding guest. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Nice to see you.
Oh boy, weddings are back. They're bigger than ever. I mean, we were doing them a different way for a while. So I think a lot of people forgot, you know, what you're supposed to do, whether you're hosting a wedding, whether you're in a wedding, or maybe you're just attending, right?
These are just little tune-ups.
Wedding tune-ups. I love that. All right, so let's start with some tips for the bride and groom. Number one, a wedding website is your friend. What is a wedding website?
So if you are planning a wedding, if you're the bride and groom, a website is really a place where your guests can go. You know, of course you're going to send out an invitation, but that website is going to be reminders. If they have a question, you know, let's face it, many of us lose that invitation. So a website is the bride and groom's friend. It's all the information, one-stop shop.
Okay, good to know. There's a particular story that we're going to share this morning about a bride and groom who did something wrong. They invited Mickey and Minnie, but then forgot about their guests.
Yes. So have you heard that story?
No.
So what happened is this bride and groom, and this was not local, this is a national story, and they forwent their food budget so Mickey and Minnie could be there for a photo op. So all of their guests did not have food or drink, and the guests were so upset, and rightfully so. So the protocol to this, because I've been asked this many times because of this story, is, you know, you always take care of your guests first.
Absolutely.
No disrespect to Mickey and Minnie, but you want to make sure that your guests are well nourished and hydrated because they are making great sacrifice to come to your wedding.
Absolutely. Guests come first. It might be your wedding, but you do need to think about everybody else. Okay, create a registry, but avoid asking for cash.
Now, the reality is, oftentimes, by the time people get married, they already have what they need. And they will ask, but I want to go on a honeymoon, or I want a new such and such, or a down payment on such and such. But you can't ask. It's really rude. So I say create a registry that there has to be something that you would like, but let mom and dad, family members, if someone asks, Shelly, what would you like? Maybe mom or dad could say, listen, they're accepting
really
cash.
Need cash.
They really need cash.
Yeah.
But just don't ask, don't put that on the invitation.
Okay, there you go. Make out-of-town guests feel special.
When they come in and they have to rent a hotel room, wouldn't it be nice to have a little welcome box with some cookies, maybe little mini bottles of Prosecco, some treats for the kids, so, or even just a little note saying welcome. So you want to let them know you are anticipating their arrival.
I love that idea. Okay, timing is everything. That's important, right?
Don't make your guests wait. So there is a wedding, and then there is the reception, and there is a long gap in between sometimes. And we understand that people have to take pictures, but make sure that they are being served a cocktail and appetizer. They are in a cool environment so they're not struggling and sweating while they're waiting for your photos.
Right. You want everyone to remember the wedding. You want them to go, oh my gosh, that was such a great wedding. I loved attending. You don't want them to go, oh my gosh, we got to go to a wedding. Right?
That wedding. You know, you don't want it to be that wedding where people talk about.
Okay. So let's talk about some tips for the wedding guests. Number one, I know you might want to, but don't skip that receiving line.
Yes. Okay, some people have a receiving line, some do not. But if there is a receiving line, you get in line. Don't go to the bar and start drinking or stand off to the side with your friends. Go through, and if you bring a guest, if you bring a guest, the guest has to go through as well, even if they don't know the bride and groom.
Okay. Dress appropriately for the wedding. And that is a struggle because there's so many different versions. There's, you know, cocktail, there's black tie, there's wedding attire.
Yes.
How do you know?
So, you know, it goes back to that wedding website, because that website should spell it out for the guests.
Smart.
That way there's no question. And then what happens is you don't want to wear white and you don't want to wear ivory. You want to wear something appropriate. You know, it's funny, I had a mom say, I want to wear black. I want to wear black. My daughter does not want me to wear black. If she doesn't want you to wear black,
You can't wear black.
wear something that's going to
Yes.
make the bride proud of you that day, because you're taking a
goodness.
picture.
All right, don't show up with an uninvited guest.
If the name is not on the invitation, they're
can't
not
go.
invited.
Okay, good. Keep your conversation short and sweet. The bride and groom, they're trying to get around to everybody. You cannot hold them hostage.
So a commonly asked question is, if there's a receiving line, does the bride and groom have to walk around still to say hello? And the answer is yes, but don't monopolize the conversation, because
Okay.
they have a lot of people to meet and they want to enjoy their own reception.
Okay, I have a question about the gifts, because this happened recently and it was something I was not aware of. You mentioned this wedding website, right? A lot of times now you can purchase the gift, it gets sent to the couple, you're not bringing a gift to the wedding anymore, and I felt weird. I was like, oh, I gotta bring something still, but you don't have to, right?
You don't have to, and that makes it so easy. I prefer not to bring anything, because then you don't know if it's, especially if it's an envelope and that's not on the
Right.
registry, that's cash. There should be a place that
put
the
it.
money goes. But just show up, you have sent it in advance, and you do not have a year to send that gift.
Okay, and finally, make sure you stay until the cake is cut. We can't sneak out early, right?
You're tired, it's been a long night, and you want to leave, but wait until the cake is cut and the toast is made, because your bride and groom will remember.
Okay, that's very important. What about sending off the bride and groom? Do we need to stay for that?
No.
Okay.
It would be nice,
Yeah.
but just the cake. Stay
Okay.
for the cake, cupcakes,
Okay.
whatever it is. Make sure you say goodbye if you can.
Okay.
But I think what's most important is you stay for most of it. If you can't make it all the way to the end, we know moms and dads have to get back to
Yeah.
little ones.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, well, there you go. I think everyone's set. Whether you're the bride, the groom, or the guest, you should know how to behave at an upcoming wedding. And of course, if you've got questions, Diane is a national etiquette expert based right here in San Antonio. You can find her at the Protocol School of Texas. Take a look at your screen, Diane Gottsman, protocolschooloftexas.com. And be sure you're following Diane on Instagram. Just search at Diane Gottsman.